fishing. Had a good day of fishing today. If you didn't watch my last video when I caught the fish, I'm gonna leave it in the description below. But the first thing we gotta do is clean this fish. Ooh, she is a big girl. Look at that. Doesn't even fit on my cutting board. But here you go, Elizabeth. And the way I like to clean these is real simple. I don't use a fillet knife or nothing like that. I'm just using this old purple knife that my wife bought one day. Did you buy this, babe? Mm-hmm. So I'm just gonna cut right here. Then I'm gonna start cutting right against the bones. And she has a lot of blood in it. Okay, after you cut it like that, I simply turn it around, get the knife in there, and start putting it in there, messing her up a little bit. Now you can see there, the skin is off. There's a very thin layer left right here. And I got a nice fillet right there. So the next thing I'm gonna do, just rub my fingers through here. I'm gonna cut off this stomach lining, as well as the rib cage. Just like that. And that's it, let me rinse her off. Nice to bled her out. Should have bled her out, but she'll be fine. Put a little bone right there. I just feel for some bones in there. That looks good. Put a little one up in there, just like that. And that's it. So let me put this on ice, and then you'll just repeat the same thing on the other side of the fish as well as the other fish. All right, so now we got the trout cleaned up, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start on chopping up the trout because I'm gonna make the ceviche first, and then we're gonna move on to the flounder. The flounder's gonna take a little bit more work, so I wanna get this in the refrigerator and start marinating. So let's start by chopping it into small chunks. All right, so now that we got it chopped up into nice fine pieces, we're just gonna throw it in the Tupperware, just like that. It's quite a little bit there. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna start squeezing some limes right on there, just like this. And there. I wish I had some better lighting, guys, but I'm sure you can see what we're doing here. Start putting some lime juice right on there, just like that. One more lime in there, and we're going to get her in the refrigerator so that way she can start cooking. I got another piece of trout over there, and I know I caught 4 trout today, guys, but I let my brother-in-law have a few of them because, you know, he got skunked today and he has to take some fish home, otherwise his wife would beat him. No, not really, but all right, so now we're gonna put the lid on there and we're gonna stick her in the fridge. All right, so before I start cleaning the flounder, I'm gonna make some corn muffin mix. stick it in the oven, so while I'm cleaning the flounder out, this muffin mix is cooking up a little bit. Let's just put that in there. 1 egg. And I think it's 3/4 cups of milk, but that looks good to me. Let's stir it up. Let's get all these crumbs out. Spray the good old pan with some Pam. And don't forget to preheat your oven to 400 degrees so that way this cornbread mix can start cooking. Just like that. Just throw it in there. Alright, so the next part is big old flounder. We got the cornbread in the oven, and we got this big old flounder. Oops. And yeah, stretch it off. Heavy head. Now we got it washed up. Got the head taken off, and what I simply do is cut it right down the middle here, right till you hit that spine. So let's get her a good cut. Now she's pretty thick, so she's gonna give me some trouble, and my knife ain't worth the crap. There we go. Once you get through that layer, it's all gravy. Now that we slice her right down the middle, just like that. Should pull all the guts out now. Pull the whole thing out. And look, there's that hook right there. I don't know if you can see it, but there's the little hook right there, but trust me, you know it's there. So now that I got that cut all the way down till I feel the bone, I'm gonna start on one side of the, just rubbing my knife slowly against her ribs, her skeleton. She is thick. I mean, she is super thick. Look at that. And then I keep going. All the way until you can see it right there. I'm almost at the end of her body there. And you see her bones are right there, and I'm all the way at the end right up in there. Same thing repeated on the other side here, which makes it a little bit easier now that she's opened up. Come across like that. You're gonna feel her ribs right there, which you're gonna cut right through the ribs. And look how thick she is. She's gonna be delicious. Now that we got her split open, what I'm gonna do is get the knife right under the skeleton there. You can see it. If you look closely, you'll see the tip of my knife. You see it going through there? I'm just simply going all the way to the back. You see how thin it is there? All the way to the back. The other side. Right up under here. Just push it in slowly. You can see the tip of my blade like right in that area if you look. See it? And just all the way down. All the way to the back. Oops, poked her out. Which is good. That means I'm really, really close, which is what I want. Now that I got her all the way down, me get my shears out. Now what I'm going to be using here, these shears right here, these chicken shears. Now that we got it cleaned out, you see my blades all the way back here. My blades all the way back here. Now what I'm going to be doing is cutting using the shears to cut right along the line here. And she is super thick. Snipping it just like that. And it really isn't a lot of work once you do it a few times. I love doing it like this because it just feels like I'm not wasting almost none of the fish here, and you'll see why just in a minute. Thank you, Elizabeth, for the camera angles. Now that we got the rib cage out, we're just going to snip it right at the tail here. And voila. Let me show you what I got here. I got a splitter open in half, cleaned her out, and just look. Took the whole skeleton right out with very, very little meat left. Very little. Alright guys, so now I got a split down the middle. I filleted her this way, cut the bones out, took the center out, okay? And one more thing, don't forget to scale the fish, okay? Don't forget to scale the fish like I did earlier in the video. So I'm just showing you again. After I scaled the fish, it's pretty hard to scale the fish once you debone her. All right, guys, so now it's time to start making this flounder. So the next thing we're gonna do is get our pan ready so that way we can start the baking of the flounder. What I like to do is put some extra virgin olive oil right here on the bottom here, because the last thing we want is a sticky flounder to the aluminum foil. And another thing, we want the shiny side up on the aluminum foil. I don't want to see that shiny side down and it's gonna stick real bad. So shiny side up, some olive oil right here, and then the flounder. Let me make sure that's good. And then the flounder just right there in the middle. Look at her, she's already sliding around. Now I'm gonna set this aside while I clean up a little bit. And we're gonna start the stuffing process. The stuffing is pretty good. Get the cornbread out of the oven. Shove it in the pan here. She's a little bit cooked more than I like, but it's okay. It's not gonna hurt none at all. And what I'm gonna add into the stuffing is about a half a cup of celery and carrot mixed. I did chop this up finely. I like it real fine. Stick that in there. And that's my boy talking in the background there. So we got the half a cup of the celery in there. I'm just gonna put a little bit of onion in there. Not too much onion at all. Just a little handful there. And then we're gonna put a full cup of chopped shrimp, because this is shrimp stuffing. I did chop and clean this earlier and stick it in the fridge, so this is gonna have a lot of shrimp. I mean, look at that, that's just a ton of shrimp. Mix it by hand. And that's pretty much it. It's real basic. You can add any kind of ingredients you want in there, whatever you like. I like a lot of shrimp. Unfortunately, I'm allergic to any kind of shellfish, so I cannot eat crabs and oysters, but I can eat shrimp. Don't know why. Neither does the doctor. All right, so now that we got the stuffing ready, we're gonna open up the fish. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt in there. Just a little bit of salt there. Not too much salt. I don't put too many spices when I'm making flounders or any seafood really, because flounder's just so good the way it is. I am putting some lemon pepper in here though. Some good old lemon pepper. And then we're gonna start shoving the stuffing right into her. I'll start packing her down in there. She is thick too. See how that looks. good. Get a couple more handfuls in there. Just like that. I'm not gonna tie her up or nothing like that. I'm just gonna leave her wide open like that. We're gonna put her in the oven. First, we're gonna add some more seasoning to her. Lemon pepper right on top of the skin here. Oops. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna put some olive oil. Oops, right on there, just like that. Olive oil all over her there. Because the last thing we want her to do is stick to the top of it now. Okay, now we're gonna add lemon pepper. I'm gonna cut up some lime here. I'm gonna put just a few limes right there on top. Then we're gonna cover her with some aluminum foil. Same thing here, shiny side is gonna go down, okay? And I'm gonna put a little bit of this olive oil right on top of this right here because I do not want her to stick to it. And she will stick. A little bit of olive oil on there. Shiny side down. Cover her up. Real good and tight. Got a piece for the other side. Put a little olive oil on there just in case. Probably don't need it. And shiny side down. Okay, now that we got her covered up, we're just gonna throw her in the oven here. Right into the middle rack right there. Now the oven's already preheated because we made that cornbread earlier, but this time we're gonna set it to 350. And she's pretty thick. She's probably gonna cook a good 45 minutes, but I'm gonna put it for 25 minutes and take a good look at her just to see how the skin is looking and if it's starting to white flake and stuff like that. So 25 minutes, we'll go right back to her. While that's cooking in the oven, I actually got some taters here. We're gonna fry up some taters because of course my son loves those taters. And while that's cooking, I'm gonna go on ahead and make some shrimp. Putting some olive oil here in the pan. And some butter. Olive oil and butter. Yeah, that's exactly what we need. Cholesterol and some more cholesterol. I'm gonna melt that down. We got about 15 minutes left and I'm gonna check on that flounder there. And the ceviche's been in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes now. So let's get that hot. It's actually pretty hot already. Yeah, that's supposed to be off. Then we're gonna, I already cleaned all these shrimp, so it's all clean, large shrimp. Watch out there. Just gonna put it in there. And put the lid on it. And just let it cook. Alright guys, so now that I got the ceviche inside the refrigerator, it's been in there for about 30 minutes. I got about 15 minutes left before I check on that flounder in the oven. In the meantime, I got some French fries right here frying up. And then I got some shrimp and olive oil and Land O'Lakes butter in this pan right here. So I've only been cooking for about 30 minutes. I got the ceviche in there for about 30 minutes. And I'm normally trying to get all this done within about an hour, which is a reasonable time because I don't want to be stuck in this kitchen all day cooking. Kind of tired. Alright guys, so my taters are just about done. I got the fish still right there on ice. I cooked the potatoes first so that way I don't get all that fish goop like oily stuff inside my taters there. So here you go, Elizabeth, hold that for me while I get this out. This is the dangerous part because you know how oil is in the kitchen. These things are crispy. See how nice and brown they are? So I'm actually going to turn that down a little bit. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this fish off of this ice here. And I'm going to chop it up into a few pieces. So we're going to make some fish fillets. And you see right there where that's at? So I'm going to cut that right there. And then I think I'm going to make 1, 2, yeah, that looks good, 3, 4 pieces there, and 2 chickens, and 2 fish sticks. Chicken. Now I'm not going to use eggs and all that other stuff. What we're going to do is go straight. It's still moist. I'm not going to dab it or nothing like that. We're going to go straight into the fish fry, just like that. Just one time too. We're not going to do that double dip and stuff. I just like it just like that with no eggs or nothing like that. Uh-oh. Straight into the oil. Babe, you like trout?
Of course.
What's your favorite, flounder or trout?
Trout.
Is it?
Yes. An awesome fish to eat.
Baked or fried like this?
Both ways are awesome.
Get this fish in here real quick. Got about 10 minutes or so before I check on that flounder. If I would have kept that other trout, we would have had a lot of fish to eat, but I think we got plenty of fish. And I'm actually overcooking right now just because this is my first catch and cook video. I'm doing it all. We're doing some frying, some bacon, some ceviche, some shrimp. It'll probably be the last time I do it. But I do a lot of the cooking here. Huh, babe?
Yes,
Do I do
sir.
a lot of the cooking?
Yes, sir.
You enjoy my cooking?
Of course. That's why you cook most of the time.
Alright, we got that cooking. Let's check on the shrimp here. The shrimp actually looking really good. Got the butter melted down. What I'm gonna add is just some chili powder. I'm just gonna put some chili powder in there. I like the coarse pepper. The good old thick pepper, and we're gonna put quite a bit of it too. Actually, I'm gonna take the top off, and we're gonna go right into this pepper. And then the salt. And the butter has some salt in it, so not too much salt, because it will be salty pretty quick. And some minced garlic. Minced garlic in there. Chili powder. Cooking in there. Now sometimes I like to make it spicy, but my wife and kids they're gonna be eating this today, so it's not gonna be spicy. It's just gonna be just right. I think I'm gonna put some more chili powder in. I'm gonna let it sit like that. Check on this fish here. This is the first piece I put on. You can see it's still exposed, so I'm gonna go ahead and flip those here. And put the rest. These little thin pieces. It doesn't take long. I'm talking four minutes and it's done. And I got 5 minutes left to check that flounder. While doing so, pretty good. Hot in the kitchen, baby. Am I sweating? Mm-hmm. Alright, so you can see this fish right here is already floating. Those these thin ones, because they're pretty thin pieces there. So they're pretty much done. I don't want to overcook them. I'm just going to take those out, put them right here with the fries. These pieces are a little bit thicker, but they're done too. Looking good. Looking good. I'm gonna get these off here, off there. And now that it's still hot, I'm gonna add some lemon pepper. Oops. Put some lemon pepper right on the fish. Just like that. Lemon pepper on the fish. And some seasoned salt on the fries. There we go. Alright, so that's done. Oil's gonna cool off. My shrimp here is just about done too. I don't like to overcook shrimp because it only gets kind of nasty. It looks pretty good there. Turn that off too. Got about 1 minute left, so let me take all this stuff off the heat. And let me check to see the flounder. Does this light work? Right. Let's check out the flounder. Whew. If it's hot in the kitchen, what's that saying?
It's cooking good.
No. Can't remember how it goes now. Alright, let's check it out. I don't know what that is. Oh, that's the olive oil coming off of my pan there, huh? Oh, there's my alarm. 25 minutes in. Now, flounder's pretty delicate, so you gotta kind of watch it. If you don't watch it, it'll get ahead. Now you can see there, it's not flaky yet, but it is turning white. It's looking kind of good, isn't it? So we're gonna cover her up. She's not sticking to the aluminum. Just make sure this is covered up pretty nice and tight. A little bit more. You can see some of the air is coming out over here. I'm gonna stick her in the oven and give her another 20 minutes. So another 20 minutes is gonna make it 45 minutes, and I think that's gonna be just about the right time for this girl. And then I think that'll be just enough time for this girl. 20 more minutes. And we'll take a look at it. In the meantime, we'll just clean up a little bit. This is done for my son. I got the shrimp done. Let's work on the ceviche. Alright, let's check out the ceviche. How does the ceviche look? Woo, look at that. Look how white it is. It's white, huh? It's cooking really good. So now what I'm gonna do, we're gonna add some cilantro in there. Some tomatoes. And some onion. Now just depending on how much you're making, you know, just kind of eyeball that. If you like more cilantro like myself, I do like a lot more cilantro. So I may add more cilantro in there. Quick stir, look at it. Definitely gonna put some more cilantro in there. Then we're gonna add some salt, pepper, and some garlic. So now we're gonna add our salts in there since it's already been sitting for a good 45 minutes or so. Like I said, the coarse pepper is just the bomb. And we're actually gonna go heavy on this thing too. I go heavy on it. A little bit of garlic. Raw garlic. Just a little bit. Put some garlic salt in there, huh? Put the lid back on. good, huh? Now that a lot of the acids from the citrus is soaked in, I'm actually gonna add a lemon and a lime and let that cook for the last remainder of it. Until the flounder's done pretty much. Once the flounder's done, she's done. And this is just a basic recipe. You can go all out, put some jalapenos in there, spice it up. I like it with some jalapenos and some spices and stuff, but this is just a quick recipe. So just gonna shake her up, stick her back in the fridge until that flounder's done, and just clean up. So now it's time to clean up. All right, guys, it's right after the 45 minutes. I checked it, took off the aluminum foil, then I added an additional 5 minutes on high, just so that way we get some browning of the stuffing. Let's take a look at it and see what she looks like. Look at that. What you think, babe?
Awesome.
Got some browning there. You can see where it's separating already, where it's starting to flake right up in here. It's getting all flaky. Looks good. All right, let's serve her up. All right, there it is, guys. I stuffed the flounder, ceviche the trout, and fried the trout. All in about what? An hour and 30 minutes, babe?
Yes,
Look at that. The whole flake just came off like that. Look how thick she was.
Wow.
She was huge, thick. She was real fat.
Flounder.
Super fat. One of the fattest flounders I've ever seen, Chuckle. Looks really good. Just flaky, nice. Looks kind of light. You see how it just fell apart? Oh man, flounder is really good, Chuckle. You, Chuckle? Everything's good, no?
Yeah, man.
All right, guys. Well, I hope you like this video, guys. Like, subscribe. If you want to see more of this kind of stuff right here, this is my family, this is my wife, that's my son, that's my father right there. Say hi to YouTube, guys. First time on YouTube? Your first time on YouTube, babe?
Yes, sir.
Hey, come here.
I'll get better. I'll get better in time. So like and subscribe, guys. I think it's pretty good, right, babe?
Awesome.
My first catch and cook.
Awesome, everyone.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
Any finger?
Look at the camera. Awesome. Yeah. What do you think, flounder or trout's better? Still.
I mean, I love the flounder. It's just two different ways. You have flounder in the oven and you have trout and
It's like apples and oranges, right?
Yeah.
You know, the flounder's delicious and the trout's delicious. They're both
Stuffing is
delicious. You know what I mean? The stuffing is great. Yeah. I didn't even try all the stuffing. Yep, shrimp stuffing, excellent. All right, guys. So we're gonna finish up dinner here. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.